Hi, welcome to this POC rehearsal for SGBL. This rehearsal has been done just in case to make sure that everything is working fine and we don't have any hiccups in between. Okay, to start with, this is the general POC for SGBL, and we have the first item in this POC as enable a user to choose his language. So here we have said English or Arabic. We are just going to show that T24 is capable of much more than just two languages. So I'm just logging into T24. Here I have the user profile record, which controls what is the language of the user, and I'm going to log on to one of the users, and I'm going to change this particular language from one to one of the setup languages. So here there are 6 languages already set up. I'm going to use French for the time being. So when I come at this record, the system has already changed the language of this particular person, and let's see what happens when I log in as this particular user. So when I log in as this particular user, the language is already in French, and you will see that the menu is also in French. So I'm going to print this one, and I'm going to log in again as the same user, and I can change my own profile if I have the access. So I'm going to change this particular user's access language to 5, which is Arabic. So the language is changed to Arabic, and when I log out and log in as this particular user, now the screen layout has changed from right to left, and you see that the menu, the screen, the T24 language is now changed to Arabic. Now this is as set up in the system. I'm going to go ahead and change, go down and actually log in as my user whose language is in English. Now I'm going to do the next part of the POC. The next part of the POC deals with defining user-defined fields in T24. There are different fields that has been given here. So at the CIF level, we need to add the client degree, which has this drill downs. We need to have the client hobbies at multiple levels. The first level should have the subheading sports, arts, and music. And when this subheading is chosen, then the subsequent level 2 will be tennis, skis, the details of this particular hobbies. Similarly, for economic sector, which is a mandatory field, we will have the finance, medical, retail, educational, and based on that, the list of detailed economic sector should be shown to the particular user. You've done this. So here, in the user menu, under the customer menu, we have a special screen for SGBL, and in this particular customer, I'm just going to open a new customer. Here you will see that the client degree is one of the fields, the user-defined fields. Now how we have created this is, we have in T24 a way of going and creating new fields. This is the database designer, and we had given a particular field, client degree, which has the same drill downs as shown in the customer field. So here these fields are actually attached to the customer record, and you will see these fields available here. What happens is, when I go back to that particular customer screen, you will see that the hobbies are listed here, arts. When I click on art, the subsequent details of hobbies changes to theater, cinema, dance, and others. If I click on music, the subsequent screen changes to pop, Arabic, and French. If I click on sports, it changes to tennis, ski, basketball, football, and others. Now I'm just going to click on tennis. Similarly, for economic sector, if it is educational, then we will have the details as teacher. If it is finance, then we'll have the details as banking, insurance, and brokerage. And if it is medical, then we'll have nurse and doctor. And if it is retail, we'll have salesman. That's for the user-defined fields. We're also asked to define a user-defined field in withdrawal transaction. I've done that in here. This is the withdrawal reasons, and this particular field is actually multi-value, which can be increased to any number of levels so that you can give any number of text in here. I'm just going to do a live transaction, and I'm going to select one of the USD accounts. Let's say this account, and I'm going to transfer 100, let's say 1000 to another customer who I'm just going to randomly pick from here, and I'm just going to commit this transaction. Now when I commit this transaction, this says withdrawal reason is input missing, because this, even though it's a user defined field, I have made it as mandatory in this particular record. So here I'm just going to enter, this is the test transaction for SGBL, and commit this record. Now when I commit this record, it says that there is an excess of overdraft on this particular account. I accept the override, and the system automatically prints a deal slip. Now the deal slip looks like this. So this is the deal slip that is being printed, and the transaction for this is FTJ187. Now what happens is, what we have done for SGBL is, we have actually used EFS to redesign this particular layout. And if I open up the layout screen, and we have made sure that this is the actual output from T24. This has been changed into a layout that SGBL has given us, and this particular layout, this particular auto form is actually running. It is actually screen grabbing whatever output is coming from T24, and if you see here, J187 is the transaction, and has already created this particular funds transfer transaction slip for this particular transaction. This can be printed, or it can be sent as an attachment to your client via email. Now the next part of the POC deals with blacklist check. Now let me go back to T24. Now we have done a blacklist check here. So under the customer menu, we have the OFAC tables. Now here is the report that we have done, which shows the list of hits that we already have. We don't have any records in here. It's just to show you how T24 works. Now I'm going to create a new list here. I have a customer named Robin. I'm just going to keep his number here, and I'm going to create some sample data for this particular person. I'm going to commit this record. And what happens is, there is a service which is running in the background, which is actually going to look for any changes in this record and check if there are any customers with this particular name. So here, if I run this query again, take some time. I'm just going to wait for it for a minute. Yes. Now if you see here, the customer has been hit, and the system shows that this is the customer who has a short name as Robin. So if you want to take any actions, I can give a drill down here, and you can go and block this particular person's account, or try to contact him and say why he's blacklisted. Okay, now let's go to the next part of this POC. The next part of the POC goes to a workflow which happens in e-banking. Now for this, I'm going to log in to the e-banking screen. This is the internet banking, which I've already showcased to SGBL. I'm going to log in, and I'm going to so here it is. So that's the internet banking screen. So if I go here, this is a screen that SGBL has already seen. One of the changes that we have done is to include a personal screen here, so that the client can see his personal data online, and also update his data. So here I've updated my email address, And I've also given a screen for the customer to change his phone numbers. So here I'm going to change the phone number accordingly, and I'm going to say update. So the system is going to say that the transaction is successful, which means that I have changed my transaction, and subsequently there is an email that is generated. Now we have set up the email gateway in this particular system. So I'm just going to log into my email ID. I'm just going to, I should have logged in before to show you that there was no email, but you'll have to take my word for it. So just for 1 minute. So now when I logged in, take some time because I've connected to my mobile network. Any moment now. So there's no email. So the system is still not sent the email. So I'm just checking whether there's any updates. So there it is, the email. So this is the email that I get saying we will inform you once your change is approved. So what I'm going to do now is log into T24 as CS agent. And in here I have an alert screen which says approve. So I'm going to approve this transaction, which is again going to send another alert back to me. So here I'm just going to go back and refresh my inbox. There's another alert which says that file change has been approved. So I'm just going to delete these mails. And voila, that is the end of the POC. Thank you.